Yeah, man, Raj Kaul.
हाँ जी
क्या बड़ी सस्ती कॉल हाँ जी बाबियो क्या हाल है
finally we get to talk.
Well, exactly. I mean, it's been going on since last year, isn't it? We've been
Yeah,
planning to go live.
definitely bro, definitely we've been just galbat hundi rehndi on over text. It's the first time we've actually talked in person. Well,
Well,
we're
that's
too
it.
person,
That's it.
very too person.
क्या बात है Fantastic, man. Respects for joining live. Congratulations on your brand new track yesterday you've dropped, man. Finally, it's released.
It's great. Response has been great so far. Just picking up traction. So yeah, absolutely fantastic, guys. Yeah, we tried something different again, but we talk about that later. I'm sure you've got loads of questions you want to.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, because you did a track. I remember. I think it was back in 2009 or 2012 time. I think.
Well,
just
originally I started off with Ritz, so we started Day and Night the Glove. Well, the first song we actually recorded was Neo Nibini. So
yes,
that was a song
remember that one.
from a woman's perspective that she's not getting with her husband. So you know, in Punjabi folk, you almost make a Bhangra song out of everything, don't you? Like
absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Even the song's fighting.
Yeah.
It's a sad song. You make a Bhangra song a bit like keda geet si Lember Sen Kudi da bahut chalya si.
Oh, Satya Sunaiya.
Yes, exactly. Became
yeah.
So
yeah, that's it, and it worked.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So Raj Kaul, I mean, talking about back then when you started your music, I mean, tell us a bit how you got into the music side of things. Where did it all start from?
Music, I mean, like I think it stands. My mum's online, so hi mum. She's somewhere. So music stands for my mum and my mum. I see, because we back in the day, probably in the 80s when I was a kid, we used to live in a joint household. Although like two families used to live together. So my dad and my daughter, they're married to two sisters. So my mum was married to, well, my daughter was married to my masi as well. So
wow.
But at that time it was a big household and full of music, and everyone sort of loves music with Gurdasman and Muhammad Rafi and all these singers. But my mum used to put them on, my sister used to put them on, and because of that I got into music. And ਜਦੋਂ ਕੋਈ party ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀ ਬੱਚਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸ਼ੌਂਕ ਸੀ ਨਾ ਗਾਉਣ ਦਾ, they used to get me to sing, and that's how it started really. From there I think it was probably about 11 or 12 I started. I think Apache Indian inspired me to write my first song.
Wow,
it was
big name there, big name, massive inspiration.
Did you know that song Arranged Marriage?
Yeah.
12,
big song.
I think the song went I want girl from Jalandhar city, है ना?
Yeah.
मैं उधर बनाता I want parotha from Jalandhar city. So that was you know, because you're a kid and you're trying to like you speak English as well. The Punjabi we can't bol this, you know. That's why. So that's how I started my writing, and the singing just went on from there. And I used to sing at school sometimes, and I think I got embarrassed because you know when you're younger, you have a high pitched voice.
Yeah.
I was like, I sang. Do you remember that? So in year 7, I was in year 7 at school. So guys, if you're from different country, year 7s, can you remember year 7? 11-12 साल होंगे नहीं
11-12 साल होती है ये.
So it was that time, so I was in the class, talent contest in the class, and I sang that song, and my teacher, she really loved it. But then because my voice was quite high pitched at that time, it was like when they get you sound like a girl, you know, like when you're singing.
Oh my God. Wow.
And so it started from then, and then in my sort of sorry, I'm telling you my whole life story here now.
Dude, that's what we want. We want to know where exactly this journey started from. You know, what got you into this.
Then it was that, and then I think I got picked in the choir as well, like, you know, the Christmas choir in year 7, Hannah?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Then there was a little period where I think I didn't like, when I had the audition for the choir the next year, मैं जज ना गा नहीं, मैं क्या मैंने पिछली वाले लोग की हंसने सी थोड़ा बहुत है कि मेरी वॉइस हाई पिच you sound conscious. तो yeah, तो sorry, Ruby's just come to bring me a cup of tea. Thank you. I suppose
क्या बात है, भरजाई भी आ गई चाह का कप लेके, वाह जी वाह, क्या बात है.
It's National Women's Day today, I think. So I was supposed to be making her a cup of tea, you know?
You know, I tell you one thing, right? International Women's Day. I think it comes on. I think it's going to come on Monday. I think, but a lot of people are celebrating today for some reason. Yeah.
अच्छा. So
मैं कहा आज ही थोड़ी सेवा होना पई है लगता.
हाँ बिल्कुल. Yeah, so now Ruby's lovely. She does so much. I'll talk about her later because you know, she's
definitely will, yeah.
of what I've been doing. Anyway, back to the story. So I was at school in the year 8. I didn't do the choir properly, my guy. So I didn't get selected. Then I think there was a lot of Bollywood. So Khalnayak was at that time. Khalnayak nahi yaar film. Sanjay Dutt.
Khalnayak, yeah.
Bilkul. Songs from there, like at school, and you know, and that kissa chal raha. Then I think I was 16 when I'm 15, 16 in India, and I think although Kisi now the Stereo Nation, I see na.
Bilkul, Stereo Nation.
Yeah, Stereo Nation. He was massive, you know, and so when I went to India, it was I was 18 when I was about 19, 18, and I already started writing songs then, like properly. My first song I wrote was There Nothing Lassie, which I wrote that on a bus. So
wow.
I was going to college, and obviously I don't know, पता नहीं कित्थों स्वर आया या कित्थों melody आई. So I put the tune in my head and I started writing, and मैं लिख रहा है ना. And my Massi's always helped me as well. So anything that I'm here today is my Massi's a great writer. She's brilliant at Punjabi. She's fantastic, you know. And she's actually, I shouldn't say this because she, you know how the industries in terms of our culture, they're a bit backward at times, you know. So
yeah.
Write songs for a lot of mainstream artists. So I'm not going to say what songs and stuff in it because it's her personal thing, but she used to write, and that's what she got me into writing the songs, because she was brilliant. She wrote quite a few songs, but under like a ghost thing. So she got me writing the songs. So when I was about 18, I wrote 16, 17, I wrote Then I Think Lassie. Then I went to India and I sang those Stereo Nation songs and stuff, and they loved it. And although the house, because they liked it, they liked me singing, especially.
Yeah.
But then I thought to myself, I need to get better at singing. It's all right just singing, but
just singing, yeah. You want to get like professionally actually learn, you know, vocally.
Absolutely. So when I was in my 20s, I went to. I'm 40 now, so I got no. I'm starting this late now, anyway. But yeah. But anyway, so I started taking lessons with Meena Kumariji. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Okay. I don't know whether you've heard of Meena Kumariji. Her dad taught jazz dummy, if I'm correct. Yeah.
Ah, okay, right. Okay. I think who taught jazz dummy was Ajit Singh Matlashi, I think.
That's here, but in India, when you went to India.
Oh, in India. Okay, right. Yeah.
He was taught by Meena Kumariji's dad when he went to India. So yeah, that was so I got lessons from here. Then later on, I learned a lot of stuff. I mean, everything I am today is my Ustad Iqbal Khan, you know? And he taught me about sur, because jida sur lana and, you know, mithas kadani awaaz, you know?
Bilkul. Yeah.
He taught me that. And so it was about 2008, I met Ritz through Minanti. So I'm going all over the place. Here. So I met Minanti through Minanti. I met Ritz, you know? So Ritz nal main many guys, met him. I went down with my Brazil top, yellow Brazil top. Remember?
Yeah, about that.
So, and then from there, me and Rich just clicked. And first, when I showed him Then I Think Lassie song, he didn't really find that one. But then I showed him. Then he had some tracks laid down. So from there, I wrote Nigga Nibbity. You know. So and then that was released, and then that then the industry changed at that time a lot.
It changed a lot. Yeah, it actually changed a lot at the time.
Yes. Yeah. So sorry, मैं बोली जांदा. So any more questions?
नहीं थोड़ी मैं थोड़े वास्ते बैठा है क्योंकि the fact is it's all about Raj Kaul at the moment because you've dropped a new track yesterday as well, Nudge Nudge. I mean, you know, talking from back then, you know, up to, I mean, you dropped a track last year as well, Zor. That was a mega tune as well, right? What has Raj Kaul been doing off the scene? Like, it's been a massive gap since you actually released a track, you know, since.
Yeah, so it does get, as I said, the industry changed a lot, and you get disillusioned because the whole industry. I'm going to be sort of frank here, and that's so. It's not anyone's fault. It's just the way the industry evolved, and I think we as a Punjabi UK didn't catch up with the way the industry was evolving.
Yeah,
my opinion, I know, but we didn't catch up. Like, I think I used to do gigs around the country at that time in 2008, and I just got, it was such a hassle and such a thingy because sometimes no one there, sometimes in a club, and sometimes you're in a little booth like this singing.
Absolutely, yeah.
Menu maza nahi aaya. I thought, I'm not singing because of this, am I? In a booth where everyone's like, they're not really there for the music. They're there for show.
Yeah, exactly. They're not really concentrated on the person who's singing.
Exactly.
You know?
I got really discouraged from it. So I'm just being honest. I got discouraged from it, and so then I just took a break, and then I still carried on singing though behind the scenes. So mere lesson chalde rahe because I still loved music, So
yeah. So kept it going.
So I still carried on singing, and then my wife really encouraged me. So I got married in 2014. So she really scored, Roger, just because let's do something, you know, because she knows I'm passionate about music. She knows she's never discouraged me. She always pushed me. So yeah. So that's in 2019. This was before lockdown. I thought, you know what, she's right. Let's try something, So I started writing, and we actually had to do a lot of self-discipline. We had to put together. We actually put together a schedule. We had a whiteboard, a schedule. So, okay, this time you got to do the R's. This time you got to write your songs. This time you got to get.
Wow.
And before this, I asked a lot of producers. They'll tell you how I got into production because and the thing was, labels wanted me to sign my songs over.
Yeah. That's how they do. Yeah.
I thought, no. See, the English industry doesn't work like that. So why are we? Why are we as artists selling the sound short? So
absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind you make money at it, but band ke khao,
yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, end of the day, you know, when it comes down to independent artists, you know, where you put all that time and effort in recording your vocals, producing the music, you're putting all that effort of doing all the promotion and everything, and putting all that 100% in there, and you kind of give away your product.
Yeah. And if you don't make it,
and what's the chance of you getting a percentage out of it? You know, it's a lot of things to talk about on that.
Yeah, no, we don't even get royalties. Like, say I would have went to this label, said label, I wouldn't have got royalties. I wouldn't own the song. I wouldn't do anything with it. They would have released a song, done a video, flashy video, and that's it. That would have been it. So that was my conversation with producers. Then I thought, you know what? Let me give it a go myself because I've done production myself, but not up to a good enough level. Even now, I wouldn't class myself as a producer per se. And you have to. It's only so much you can do at one time. And my main,
absolutely.
So I gave it a go. We put together a schedule, me and Ruby. So every day after work, coming home, Pilla Riyaz, fair production, fair likhna, that's how we in 2019 we wrote Zord. That's how we just before the lockdown, we didn't even know the lockdown's gonna happen. We recorded Zord just in time.
Wow.
So we recorded it just in time. I had the vocals and everything, music, and then through Ruby also I mentioned that that we got in touch with Luke. Because she used to work with Ruby works for the NHS, so she worked for another professional in the NHS. And her husband Luke Victor, so he did the mixing and mastering. So that's how we got into that as well. So that's and that's what happened. So it was quite hard work. putting together a schedule, coming after work, doing that.
I mean, look, the end of the day, the hard work, you can see that in the work because you brought something different on the table here, right? Because when you see other artists, they're doing like all that flashy stuff, everything on another level, right? But you kind of brought a different vibe in the music here where we don't see as many producers doing electronic music, first of all. Then on top, when it comes down to the video is completely artistic. It's something very graphic-y, something very, how can I describe it? It's something different, like completely different vibe. I mean, you brought something very different and not many touch this kind of concept. So hats off on that one.
I think, well, because of the lockdown, there's only so much we could do. Was also Ruby goes, let me try a video. She's never done animation in her life. So,
but she's done a good job here. I mean, I'm amazed the fact, like even seeing the clip what you put out a couple of weeks ago, where you're putting them LED, the neon things you're putting on the, seeing all that, right? It just shows that you're trying, you're putting this kind of effort to make something work. And that's what actually attracted myself to look at your music, because there's a hard work put in there. There's a good hard work. There's a good team you've got here, where you, your wife, you've got together, planned out something, come forward, brought a different thing in the industry, and it's something different. It's something different to look at.
Absolutely, I agree. And before, Ruby had some earlier concepts of animation before, but they were a bit too comical. Because in my mind, electronic music, because back to the electronic music as well. I'll talk about that in a second. Actually, just मैं थोड़ा excited हो गया इतना ज़्यादा.
देखो जी ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪ excited ਹੋਏ ਕਿ ਮਸੀਂ ਮੇਲ ਹੋਇਆ ਸਾਡਾ ਮਿਲਣੀ ਹੋਈ Instagram पे.
It's gonna be in person, bro. जब तू आऊगा बाहर में.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely.
आके रोटी खाई साढ़े को रही. I'll take you all the places here.
No worries, man. Defo.
So anyway, so the video, then Ruby made. She started off with a comical, like almost a video game thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Electronic track. It's got to be serious. It's got to be cool, neon-y sort of thing that goes with the whole. Have you heard of the term cyberpunk?
Oh yes, yeah.
That whole Blade Runner style thing, the film Blade Runner. That whole kind of vibe, and that's the kind of vibe we wanted to go for, and that's what we're trying to carry on as well. In Nudge, you can probably see it's still that neon-y, electric,
absolutely,
kind of 80s vibe. So then she started doing the animation. I go, she started off the concept of my face. So she got my face, and I told her what kind of thing I wanted. So she made it like robotic and coloured.
Yeah, colours and stuff,
And from there, she made the rest of it. It took her 9 months to do. But
wow.
So the lockdown worked out for us in that sense.
In that sense, it worked. Yeah, because you got the time to actually put in there now. Yeah. How about that? To be honest, right, when I came across Zor, right, that track, because the wording, the composition, the lyrics, right, it was completely a complete twist to what we listen at the moment. There was a complete little twist, right?
The story behind
similar to I mean, it's like the whole you hear and listen. I mean, those who are watching us, right? If you actually listen back to Zor from the start of the end of the track, and you just focus on the lyrics, right? There's a melody there. There is a melody there, right? And you don't see melody in some of the tracks nowadays.
No. There's a reason behind that. Because, our Punjabi, we managed to capture Punjab when it was Shuddh Punjabi.
Bilkul, sachi gal.
In England, we've still got that Punjabi. We've kept it. If you go India now, ajkal da swag nikalda mera act.
कुछ ज्यादा ही कम खराब है जी उत्थे कुछ ज्यादा ही उत्थे यूथ ही बड़ी अजीब है जी.
And language evolves, but I feel we've got so much proud because we've kept the Punjabi pure as it was back in the day.
Bilkul. So I agree with that.
Yeah, so I thought, why should we lose that? Why do I want to put in words like swag and, you know, gang this.
Gangland, Gangland भी बड़ा मशहूर होया है. I mean, there was a track, Paji. There was a track, Paji, a couple of years ago. I was surprised. It was back in 2007. India में गया सीगा. And उसने एक गाना बड़ा मशहूर होया सीगा, Safari. By Sarjeet Pullar and Sudesh Kumari. It was a duet song because duet songs were quite popular. That, you know, in 2007 we all Miss Pooja, Geeta Zelda, and all of them. I was thinking, yeah, what's this sudden change? What's come like the lyrics are kuch aur, the title of the song is kuch aur. It's strange, and I think India has kind of the Punjab industry are the ones who have kind of like blended the English on the wrong places, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, language evolves anywhere you are, but
yeah,
I'm not saying that in a negative way to demean them. Every music has its place, but I want to draw on our strengths. We've still managed to hold on to that values. So even the songs I wrote, actually there is one song that I wrote with the word swag. It's not released yet, but I'll give you a little tap of it. You'll like the subject. So this is not released yet, but मैं गा दिंदा, but ये मेरे दिल दी गल है ना कि जो हो रहा है नशे पत्ते वगैरह ना, ते ये मेरी दिल दी गल सी, तो इस करके मैं सुनाऊंगा. मापे तेरे तंगी कट तेनू पालिया तू कहंदा हार्ड लाइफ नी मापे तेरे तंगे कट तेनू पालिया तू कहंदा हार्ड लाइफ नी रब कोलों डर वड्डिया बहादरा ठग लाइफ विच दस की तू पालिया बाकी मैनू याद नहीं, पर मैं लिखिया आया बस थोड़ा.
क्या बात है यार, you know that आज जो तुसी सुनाया ना, ਇਹਦੇ ਚ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ कोई मैसेज है.
Yeah, but I don't think I'm ready as an artist to release a song like that, because as an artist you got to have a lot of influence to like Baba Gurdas Mann, you know, so
बिल्कुल
he's got a platform for that, but an independent artist like me, I don't think we're at that stage. But thanks to people like yourself, Virena, it's the support has been like phenomenal.
You know, I mean, to be honest, right, like we were talking about, you know, the music scene here and everything. I think what it is, right, because अक्सर ना कई लोग कहते हैं जी that, oh, we don't have a music industry no more, it's crap, it's this, it's that, but we've got a handful of good talented people here. Why are they getting overlooked? It just makes me think that, you know, content है ya, people are there. It's a matter of giving that equal opportunity, like you're giving to artists like Moosewala, Karan Aujla, and all them boys, right? Ona the audience to badi hai, they're worldwide anyway. But the independent artists we got in the country, I think they're getting. I personally think that, you know, they're there. It's just a matter of giving that opportunity.
Absolutely, bro. I know quite a few singers. I know like Mera Veer Jet Kara, huh?
Oh yes, yeah.
He's a very good friend of mine, and he's a great singer. But
not
you know, Bubu is one of my good friends as well. And there's just so many good artists here, that I do feel that it is quite hard for us to break into the mainstream radio, mainstream TV. But these days you got social media, people like yourself.
Oh yeah,
support.
Yeah.
So you can
I think that's what it is, buddy. I mean, yeah, absolutely, because I think social media itself is a powerful network compared to like not getting. I don't want to diss anyone or anything, but there's good radio stations out there as well. But there's some radio stations out there where, you know, I'll be talking straight, where you're putting that effort, you make a song, you put that effort on typing up a press release, you email it to the radio stations. And you've kind of covered like nearly half of the radio stations you sent it to, and only 3 people get back to you. It just makes you think that, you know, in media honde bawajood bhi, there's people out there who pick and choose. You know, we're going to use this artist, we're going to play his music more. You know, nah, this doesn't sound right. But I think there's a bit of a politics in a way in one side.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, I don't know because I don't know the radio station people. All I know is that all I can do is contact, like I contacted yourself. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
You probably didn't hear my song. You just probably the right etiquette is to just say, okay. It's like I get people spamming me all the time, you know, on Facebook. Oh, we will promote you.
Yeah.
I never be rude to them. I said I'm all right at the moment, but thank you so much for reaching out to me.
Yeah.
I need your service, but I think that etiquette goes a long way in life, doesn't it?
Bilkul.
So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Nudge, right? You've dropped that new track yesterday, and it sounds sick, man. Right? It's got this kind of retro vibe. I mean, tell us a bit about your influences for this track now, because I think you tried to achieve on the 80s kind of vibe with the sound and the music. Tell us a bit about your influences on that. I mean, I can feel a bit of a Bollywood touch to that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I actually, the reason, I know a friend of mine, Marcus, on Facebook, Marcus just texted me out of the blue. He says, Raj, I heard your new track and stuff, I've got a friend of mine who's doing music. You might want to get in contact with him. So this is how it started, because I didn't produce Nudge, by the way.
Yeah.
I didn't produce that. So because the time and stuff, So what happened was he introduced me to Bobby, and Bobby coincidentally used to play keyboard for Excellency back in the day.
Ah, yes. I remember him now.
So
yeah.
Bobby used to play keyboard for Excellency back in the day. So then he sent me some like samples and stuff, and some of the stuff, and then this one really stood out. Like it wasn't as like this. It was like quite a thing. It was like my kind of vibe. It was like 80s vibe, the synth, all those things. So it's my kind of vibe. I said, you know what? I like this song. I'm going to take this off you. So from there, right at that moment, I started writing. So we from there I wrote it, and then me and Ruby, what we normally do when we've got this tradition now, when we're going to write a song properly, and we normally head off to covered wagon or like a mixed grill pubs and that. We'll sit there and have some pan of shandy, have some food, and just write on there. And and that's how that song was written. Zoro's written as well like that. So,
Zor and Nudge. These are two tracks which have just what have come, right? Where both of the tracks have changed a bit of what we listen to regularly at this present point, and that's a good sign there, because it's good to have a change in the music scene. You know, where there's many other people. I mean, even like producers like Mukhtar Sahota. He's kind of kept his kind of sound. His electronic stuff and all his reggae stuff back in the Sahota's days he used to do as well. But I think he's the only one, and yourself, who have kind of experimented sounds here.
The Swami as well. Swami.
Swami, yes.
Swami.
Swamiji. We can't forget Swamiji. I mean, Swamiji did a good job.
Yeah. And hopefully, like as you say, it's got the influence of Bollywood, and also the influence of like in the 90s, you had soldiers were doing the Love Mukhtar, so they were doing that kind of vibe.
Absolutely, yeah. I think coming to the 80s and 90s as well. I mean, even the Bollywood movies. I mean, I've noticed you're into movies as well, and it just reminds me of that era. When you hear the sound and the synths, the actual instrumental, the music, it takes you back to that era. And that's a big, massive achievement there for this day and age, to get that kind of music in 2021. Sick, man.
It's like we got nothing to lose, because we're independent artists. So I thought, why don't we draw on our own strengths? At the end of the day, if I went back and did like the Glassy style, typical Bangla songs, this and that. That's not that as an artist,
Absolutely, I agree with that. Yeah, because it's like you technically joining the bandwagon. Other people are doing that.
Absolutely.
It's just repeating again.
And we wouldn't be having this conversation if I was doing that. So I must be doing something right. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having this conversation. We'll be talking about, yeah, you know, we wouldn't be talking about the music like we are.
Absolutely. Bilkul, bilkul. Yeah.
So I must be doing something right. And the amazing thing about the Zor and Nach Nach as well is that a lot of the white English audience have loved it.
That, you know, that is what actually made me like, I got blown away from that, seeing the comments from the non-Punjabi people as well.
Exactly.
That it just, you know, that's what, technically, you know, that's what we need, because we're kind of stuck in one audience, right? And by now, I think Punjabi music could have reached to the Hollywood.
Yeah. So,
you know, knowingly, like, you know, at this present point where, you know, we've got massive content, right? Big content. It just makes me think that, you know, the only one song I remember, you must remember this party as well, was Mundian to Bach Ke Rahin.
Yeah.
Punjabi MC, right? That's the only one song I would say what reached to the English audience.
Absolutely.
And it actually got featured in Bend It Like Beckham, right? And it actually got featured in TV commercials as well as a background thing. Yeah. I think that's one track, and I would say Apache Indian.
Yep.
You know, but the point I'm trying to make is the fact that even though we've got content, you know, why isn't any of the producers or artists reaching to the English audience and showing them that this is what Bhangra music is, this is what Punjabi music is?
I think, you know,
it's a massive audience.
You know, interestingly, I'm in talks, and I'll talk freely, like, I'm in talks with one of the PRS Foundation guys at the moment, and I don't think it's going to go anywhere, but because there's a whole lot of support for other ethnic minorities that in this country, and in the UK. But for Malan, what about the Asians?
Yeah.
You know, we should have some support. We've got so much to offer in our language, in our culture, in our values. I'm not just talking about Punjabi. It could be Bengali. It could be Urdu. Whatever. No.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
We've got so much to offer, but no one really said anything. So I'm still in email with the guy. He's the CEO of PRS Foundation. So I don't know where it's going to go. Probably nothing's going to happen. But I'm in talks with them to see if they can support us. And I'm not just talking about myself. Everyone in the UK, because imagine our Punjabi songs go mainstream. That'd be just like phenomenal.
Absolutely. That is exactly. That's what we need, because you know, even though like with all the digital platforms, Ghana release runs for a week and it goes old in a couple of days, right? But I would say if it reaches to the mainstream, you know, it'll be more recognition there, you know.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And
so yeah,
at the end of the day, it's like, if one of our songs reaches there, it's like this guy was the #1 with Stereo Nation as well. Huh? Remember
oh yeah,
oh baby, that song. I know that was #1 as well. Yeah. So after that, we had Mundian to Bach Ke Rahin, that and Apache Indian. That's it.
That's it, yeah.
That's really disappointing. But that's why I was saying that I want to push our music, make sure that we're doing something different. We're creating a new vibe. And it's not just that. It's like a lot of research has gone, a lot of market research on my side, on the business side, because we've had to learn this. A lot of the business side, how to market, how to advert, how to reach out to people. So a lot of that's gone through in it as well. So we're trying to break through different type of audience, but if we can cross over, great. But
that's it. I mean, देखो जी, जे कोशिश नहीं करूँगे तो कामयाबी किथों मिलनी? You know, and the struggles an artist does, and the time when you reach to that peak, when you look back from the day one to now, you see that all that effort and time you put on on the people out there who are being supportive. You know, even those who are watching us technically are the ones who are supporting your music.
Absolutely, you know? It's just it's amazing.
I think you know what it is, right? Those who are watching us, मैं ख्याल पाजी तुसी अपने ना अंदाज नाल थोड़े कईयां दे नाल ले लो, थोड़े मैसेज पढ़ लो अपने अंदाज नाल. You know, those who are watching, क्योंकि very interesting things that few people are writing here.
ये तो सारे अपने मैं ट्राई कर रहा था, सारे ये तो काफी अपने लगदे हैं.
ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਸਾਰੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਪੇਕਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵੀ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਹੁਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵੀ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ
No, there's actually there's quite a few different people on there. Bubu, he's a great singer himself. He's going to be releasing something soon. So he actually sang. You know that song? Tere naina soniye. You know that song on Rich's album? So Bubu sang that song he did, and we co-wrote that song together. That was on Rich's album as well. So he's a singer there. So he's coming back as well with the new voice.
That's solid, man. That's good to know because it's great to see some of those artists from back then who are coming back now. Because you know what it is, right? Those who are grown up in the 80s and the 90s era, we've always grown up with like boy bands and back in the days live bands and stuff like that, right? And it's good the fact that a lot of them are coming back now. Even like Balwinder Safripaji's come out with a song as well. And finally you see some of the legendary artists coming now as well. So that's a good sign that good music is about to come in the industry.
Absolutely, yeah.
So now you know what it is, right? I remember you when you was in the Just Ritza album. You didn't have a beard then, right? You've grown a beard now. You've got a different beard. I'm just waiting for the long hair so I can say that you look like a Hansraj Hans, right? A carbon copy of a UK version of Hansraj Hans, right? And so we've got some content there now.
The guys are going to be cracking up afterwards. Yeah, we could do it. Oh, Hans is what an amazing singer. Hans is just
absolutely
phenomenal. Yeah. So
I mean, buddy, tell us a bit about your favorite artists as well. Like those who you've been growing up listening to. I mean, everyone knows like what we heard a week ago about Sadhu Sikandar Saab as well. That's kind of put everyone in sadness because we've grown up listening to his music. So tell us a bit about your influences. I mean, tell us a bit about who you listen to. What kind of music do you listen? What kind of content you listen to? Tell us a bit about that.
So I think I started off, as I said, like this is going to sound a bit typical to start off with. But when you're younger, you listen to Gurdas Mann. Obviously, there's probably no bigger artist than Gurdas Mann. I don't want to get into the controversial side of it, but I'm still a big Gurdas Mann fan. So there's the Gurdas Mann, Sabar Koti ji. Sabar Koti.
Wow.
He's one of my best favorite ever singers. I just loved him like so much. And I did the industry in Sabar Koti was just like
He was another level, like in terms of even the collection of his sad songs as well. Banda Sunda, Banda Haran ho janda that this guy has got a voice that actually puts a picture in your mind. But some of the songs may have not a video, and when you listen to him songs, you just picturize something in your mind.
No, he was just amazing. So Sabar Koti, but then when I started like taking lessons with Ustad Iqbal Khan, then he started getting me to listen to more ghazals.
Yeah.
So Ghulam Ali Saab ji, Mehdi Hasan.
Wow.
Now Mehdi Hasan has become one of my favorite singers ever.
Wow.
And you don't realize how good this guy, until you try to rehearse his songs, practice his songs.
Yeah.
Like Muhammad Rafi Saab ji, you look at his songs, they seem quite simple. They seem quite simple.
Yeah.
So these singers, Ghulam Ali, Mehdi Hasan, Muhammad Rafi Saab ji. So
they're the people who are kind of the ones who kind of set it a standard in the industry. Muhammad Rafi Saab being like almost the first ever artist to be a playback singer in a way. So he's a founder of playback singing. I'm seeing Kishore Kumar after that. Or we key artist Manna De, even Mukesh as well. He's got a massive contribution.
And
Mahendra Kapoor, you can't forget him either. Yeah. I mean the music. I mean the tracks he did in Punjabi films as well back in the days. That was a massive I would say one of the iconic voices had to be in a Punjabi film.
Absolutely, and his songs are still famous now, aren't they? So they're just evergreen songs, you know.
Oh yes,
So
oh
yeah,
yes, evergreen song.
those are influences, and I think also as when I was younger, I want to go back to the younger influences because I can't. As much as I love those singers, I used to love the UK bands at the time.
Yeah, bilkul.
Lotus, Excellency, DCS, you know, the music they created, we lost that. We at some point,
Oh yes.
we lost that. I think in the 2000s when you had the whole DJ influx and where
Yeah, yeah.
the music started turning samey.
Absolutely,
But
absolutely.
in those days, when you had the live bands, because they used to play everything in live, and I've got a lot of like family and friends who played in those bands, so we all looked up to them. We were only kids then, but we looked up to them. Oh, Excellency, you know what I mean? Yeah. So
Yeah.
those are my
Favorite bands. I mean, you mentioned the bands back then. I mean, you're absolutely, bang on there to the point where the bands back then, even listening to their production, even like if you listen to the production of Deepak Khazanji as well, in the Diamonds of Hira album. I mean, the whole vibe, the whole, the pieces he's played in there. It's like, man, that's what you call music.
Absolutely, bro. Both that's a much fun. We went to the melee, we went to the little things, DCS, we went to the gigs, looking at DCS, Excellency. So Sahotas was just like next level. Even now, as I said, Knock has got. I'd like to think that it's got a bit of Sahotas influence in there.
It has got an influence in there. It has got an influence in there. The sound itself, it takes you back to the 80s. That era where even on the top of the pops you could hear that kind of sound as well.
Yeah, I think they were on top of the pops, weren't they? Sahotas.
Yeah.
They were on top of the pops. They were on Generation Game.
Oh yes, yeah. They used to be on what is it? Blue Peter. Surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were there. Yeah.
Yeah.
My God, I tell you one thing, right? When I was blessed, I would say I was blessed the fact that when I interviewed Mukhtar Sahota, right, on the radio, right, and it was a lengthy conversation. I think it would have been one of my first radio interviews, which crossed an hour, right? Or he didn't realize what time we were on, how long it was, and from his childhood days to his high school days when the first album came out of theirs in the 80s until now. When you look back to their stuff as well, it's like it's full of like an encyclopedia of music.
Well, they're just phenomenal. Their music was still, even now, I think producers would do themselves benefit if they looked up to that Sahotas music. Even now, introduced Sahotas, even now people listen to it, they think this is like the coolest thing ever,
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And we see that in Nach Nach, right? I mean, I like the video, right? You've got the same kind of the all that retro kind of neon vibe, and you've got your shots in there what are more Raj Kaul Paji's video has paused. I mean, yes, Paji. Yeah.
I missed the last 10, 20.
Anji, So what I was saying was that, like, Nach Nach, I mean, the video, it's a different vibe. You see yourself in there, in a shadow. I just like the whole feeling of the stuff what you guys are doing.
Well, there's a story behind that as well. You get, I've calmed everything down. That's probably the real reason why we chose to shoot like that. You can't shoot outside anyway. So what are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
So it's being just improvising and being creative. That's down to Ruby really being creative and think, okay, we're stuck in lockdown. So what should we do? So that's where all this has come from, really. So yeah.
I think, Ruby's done a good job here. I mean, big up to her, right? Because when it comes down to concepts and creation, we can see that in her art stuff, what she does as well, right? And, you've got I would say you've got a very strong team here where it comes down to creativity.
Absolutely.
And that's well done on that one, well done.
There's a massive process like that each song goes through. So, Bill, I can tell you the process. And I did that. So I'd write the song, or I'd get a vibe, get the music. Then I'd snipe to, once the production's done, to like a mixing's done, to basic mix is done. If I'm producing it, I'd snipe. My friend Nelson is a guitarist, so he does all my graphics as well. So he does all my graphics. I know you do graphics as well, which I love your stuff as well, buddy.
Well done,
so, but he's a guitarist, so I give these tracks. I give them the tracks. I give Bubu the track, Ruby, my mom, and just immediate family members, So not too many, just people who know I've got a musical ear and know what I'm trying to do. So then we come back with the mixes and see each mix goes. Say Luke's mixing it, it'll send me it back. Like within a day or two, he'll do a mix, keep coming back. Then it keeps coming back, and then from there, once the mixer masters, then Ruby jumps in as well to get the video concept sorted. Then we discuss the video, how we're gonna go. So that's basically the formula we've got at the moment. So we're sticking to it.
Yeah, brother. You've got a good team. I think some names have been mentioned here by Ruby: Nelson, Bubu, Luke, Bobby, Kamakshi bada lagna hai yaar, bada.
Yeah, she's Ruby's one of Ruby's good friends. She's a marketing lady, marketing. Yeah, she's a marketing person. So she advised us initially when we started doing this. So how to market, which you probably know about because you do graphics. How to tell us this. So these are things. As an independent artist, we need to really know these things. How to tell a story, how to engage the audience. I mean, kade you have to post every day on social media. Kade kya sochi aaj ki post kariye.
Yeah, content hona chahiye. You have to have a content to actually post. Yeah,
exactly. So we just think that aaj ki post kariye. What should we do? And so that's one of the challenges. So she really helped us with that. So initially,
fantastic.
Yeah, so that's part of the team. That's how we're getting where we are at the moment.
That's fabulous, man. Because like I said, I keep saying this. You've got a fantastic team here, right? You've got a group of people putting their efforts in and actually bringing out good content, which we need at this present point. Because Tiga, end of the day, look, the way I see it, Tiga, there's a big audience down in Punjab. There's a massive industry there. We can't really compete with them.
No.
Because रोज कोई ना कोई नवा गाना आता है. There's new artists coming every week, right? But ਜਿਹੜੀ industry ਇੱਥੇ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ, because end of the day, the industry in Punjab, they tend to try to achieve the UK sound in their production. We can clearly see that, right? They try to use that, but the mixing and mastering, what happens in the UK, you can't get that nowhere.
I think there's a story behind that. So this is my theory. I started my musical theories. Don't quote me on these. I might come back.
Yeah.
But I think that the internet's got a massive thing to do with the change trend. Before, a lot of the India music used to come to the UK artists, UK producer music. This is probably in the early 2000s. Then you had the internet boom. Because basically the UK people, they had access to hip hop, electronic, whatever is they had access to. So I'm showing my age, Top of the Pops. I don't even know if Top of the Pops is still on now. We had access to that. They didn't. I don't know who can see it. Yeah, can you hear me? Sorry. Yeah, so as I was saying, they suddenly got access to all these things now, so they don't need us. Well, we're stuck. Where UK production was stuck in the 2000s, like doing the same. Have you noticed the same ball beat?
Yeah.
Absolutely. The same hoi, hi, the same thing. So they're stuck there. India's just thinking, we've got access to back ourselves. We don't need the UK people.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Through the internet, they've just moved up, and that's why. So I feel as UK artists, we've got to draw on our strengths. What can we offer that they can't? You know?
Absolutely, yeah. Bilkul,
So,
bilkul.
ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮੈਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ about the our Punjabi, I think that's vital. We should stick with our Punjabi and make it should Punjabi, है ना?
Bilkul, no doubt.
Even that what we write, the lyrics we're writing, the topics we're writing, we should keep our should rather than putting swag in every song or you know. But then I can't remember the songs now. So, you know.
No, I mean, to be honest, I was having a lengthy conversation with Sachinder Shindapaji, right, a couple of weeks ago. We were on the phone and we were working on a project. We were working on a project together, right? And I asked him, I said, Paji, what are your views on the lyrics nowadays? What are your, because him being back in in the band era, he's performed on bands. His brother was a singer as well, back in the days, and they used to have their own band as well. I said, what are your views according to the music now? And the simple answer was, "Ke same nal time change hunda." That we have to work on the time, like that the generation now. He said, "Jedi aaj di generation a, ਉਹ ਸਾਡਾ music ਨਹੀਂ ਸੁਣਨ ਨੂੰ ਤਿਆਰ. They're not ready to listen to the music what we've grown up listening to." So ਸਾਨੂੰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਮੁਤਾਬਕ ਹੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਚੱਲਣਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਹੁਣ. Even when it comes down to the lyrics, like when hip hop music became an influence in Punjabi music, ਸਾਰੇ hip hop ਕਰਨਾ ਪਏ. When someone was doing reggae came in the music scene, and ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ hip hop ਹੀ ਚੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ. Takriban in all the songs that are getting released in Punjab, there is a vibe of hip hop and underground music.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So he was saying that ਸਮੇਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬਦਲਣਾ ਪੈ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ. We can't do nothing. ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਸੰਦ ਆ ਚੀਜ਼ ਉਹ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਦੀ ਕਦਾਰ release ਕਰੀਦਾ ਹੈ. Like he did that Thrill track with Gorillaz after last year, and a lot of people liked it because it had the Shinda sound in it.
I think there's two aspects to it. ਇੱਕ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਇੱਕ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਸੱਭਿਆਚਾਰ, ਸਾਡੀ ਬੋਲੀ, the lyrics, the melody, music could be anything, ਹੈ ਨਾ? Keep your core, keep your core values. So and believe it or not, I've actually got like a mission statement for myself. So I'm treating it's got a mission statement. These are our core values. The music could be anything, but these are our core values. This is what we've got to stick to, है ना? So
absolutely.
Ekta melody, as you noticed already, you mentioned it. I'm a massive fan of melody. I think ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਚੀਜ਼ is melody for me. So and
absolutely it should be. ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੀ ਹੈ.
As I said, the melody in like the songs now, they got more a hip hop. So nothing wrong with that. ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਗਲਤ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਉਹ I listen to the songs, है ना? I listen to some of the songs, so I'm not saying they're bad, but I feel that not compete to bring about a resurgence to the UK market. We need to do what we're best at, you know?
Absolutely.
That's my opinion. We need to do what we're best at, so not just copying anyone else, not just doing the same. So we need to evolve. We need to look at our strengths. Like Suchinder Shindapaji, you can't.
That's it. Yeah, absolutely.
You can't mess with someone like that. So if he's saying it as well, like, so I'm the small artist compared to you.
ਦੇਖੋ ਜੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਉਮੀਦ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ that now from back when you were featuring with Just Ritz, you've come back now with Zod, then you come back with Nach Nach yesterday, right? It's glad to see you back in the music scene, first of all. It's glad to see that you've come back, brought something new on the table to change the audience, to change the whole vibration in the music scene. So Nach Nach ho gaya, hun agla ki, what have you got planned now? What's in the pipeline next now we've got?
So I've got a few songs lined up. I know there's that Hard Life one I was saying, but I don't think that song's established enough at the moment. What my plans are is to do something. I'm trying to create. This is I was going to say this is between you and me, but sari dunya dekh. Because ਜਿਹੜੀ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਸਾਡੀ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, it feels like ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਭਰਾ ਨਾਲ ਬੈਠਾ ਆ, ਅਸੀਂ ਚਾਹ ਪੀਂਦੇ ਆ, that's
ਬਿਲਕੁਲ
which I appreciate, so we actually got to do it in person, है ना? जब ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਓਗੇ,
ਚਲੋ confidential ਰੱਖ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਆ, confidential ਰੱਖਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਮਾੜਾ ਮੋਟਾ.
ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ, the Hard Life song I'd love to do. like that kind of. But that's probably later on once we're more established. But Jeddah, I want to do. I'm trying to keep my sound the same, but trying to do something for the dance floor in the sense of wedding, because hopefully, God willing, the lockdown's over, so we have something a bit more ready. So that's the challenge. I'm finding it very challenging to keep my sound and bring dawn in or something like that. And I'd like, to bring that sound in, make it dance floor worthy. Because dance floor that chal beat jaldi hai. Like Jazzy B, Jazzy. So that's the kind of thing I'm looking forward to doing. But let's see how it goes.
I'm looking forward, man. I'm looking forward because, like you said, now, with all this pandemic's been going on since last year, people are locked in their houses, right? They can't go out to anywhere, into gigs or dinner and dances or weddings, wherever, right? Things have gone a bit strange since last year, but soon things are going to open up. I think it's going to pick up big time. People are going to want to go to gigs. People want to go to events. They want to enjoy now. So I think now, it looks like we're going to be seeing the good days of music as well,
Absolutely. I really hope so. And I get that we really turn a new leaf in a new corner on terms of the UK industry, that we do something, not just myself, other artists, as I mentioned earlier, that we really just gain traction and start making that dent, bring UK music back. I don't want to say I don't want to say back to where it was. I want to say, let's revolutionize UK music where we were discussing earlier, where we can even hit the mainstream markets. And that's the kind of vibe we want to do. Because if we hit the mainstream market, then India, whatever, is going to look to us again.
Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, look, let's think of this. Since March last year, when all this pandemic started, when the lockdown happened in the UK, during that period to now, I've been in touch with a couple of producers and artists, what are you guys doing nowadays and this and that. And everyone's got their head down, just producing music, just producing content, right? So they've just been working on it. So touch wood, right? Things are going to be very big soon because there's good music going to come very soon. I think you've been producing a lot of content as well in the meantime as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, hopefully it takes a turn for the better, and then we'll see where we are in June. That's if people follow the rules.
Absolutely. Definitely is down to the rules, because I don't see anyone following them rules in India at the moment. And no one's wearing a mask, right? And no one's wearing a mask. But when they have to take a selfie of them when they're flying somewhere,
it's crazy. It's a bit different, India because COVID it's really shook me, I've seen families being immediately impacted. And you can't, sorry for the sober thought, but you gotta stay safe though. Let's get out of this.
Yeah, absolutely. Big time. Yeah, man. Absolutely. So, absolute pleasure, buddy. Respects for your time, right? Interesting conversations from your childhood days to your... I got a message from one of your college uni friends, I think, a couple of weeks ago.
Indeed.
Indie Bhai.
He's the main man.
He's the main man. How can we forget Indie, right? Because he loves his burgers as well, He's a foodie guy, though. You must know more than me.
Yeah, when we were at college and stuff as well, we all got together. We used to get together, watch the boxing and stuff.
Yeah.
Mum used to cook some food for us or whatever. And people are lucky on it, especially in Handsworth. Big thing in Handsworth. The culture was so good like that we'd come.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, when I met Indy for the first time, right, we went to their house in Handsworth, and all my family was sat there. It was the first time we were going to meet him, right? And you can imagine when you're going to meet someone who's going to be getting married to to your cousin, right? So we sat there, and he wasn't there. Auntie G was there. His mom was there, and suddenly we heard this bang on the door, right? Of an entourage of aunties walking in, right? Right? And again, and it was proper in proper mood, like you don't like we mela lagya hunda, as you say, right? And they came on an entourage and saying, Ji vadaiya, right? And we sat there thinking, right, what the hell is happening here? And we being Yorkshire, right? And we sat there like, what kind of the culture is this, right? I was surprised to see it, right? And entourage of aunties come and they come in, oh sorry ji, ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੱਲਿਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬੈਠੇ ਆ ਸਤਿ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਬੁਲਾ ਕੇ and they went to the kitchen after that, right? Suddenly big man Indy walks in, right? Right? Indy walks in and he's like looking around left and right, and seeing, oh god, he was like, you could tell that he's a bit nervous, right? Because he's gonna get married soon, right? So he was a bit nervous, and he's a very comic guy, man. He's a very humorous person.
Yeah, Indy's great. But ਉਹਦੇ ਚ ਕਮੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਯਾਰ, ਮੈਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਵੀ
ਉਹ ਇਹ ਦੱਸੋ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ।
ਉਹਦੇ ਚ ਕਮੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਕਿ he's a Man United supporter. ਉਹਦੀ ਬਸ ਇਹੀ
ਇਹ ਗੜਬੜ ਹੋ ਗਈ। You know, the thing with him is, right, as far as I remember, before he did used to follow Liverpool.
Did he? I did. We're colleagues. ਸਾਡੀ ਤਾਂ ਬਹਿਸ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਰਹਿੰਦੀ ਸੀ।
Yeah.
ਹੈਨਾ?
ਅੱਛਾ। My gosh, I mean, you know what it is, right? It's something ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ। If Liverpool's a good team, ਚਲੋ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ supporter ਬਣ ਜਾਓ, right? Well, I mean, Manchester United, I mean, it's not a bad team. It's not a bad team.
No, but there's always been this rivalry between Liverpool and Man United.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
ਦੁਸ਼ਮਣੀ ਹੈ, ਜਿਹਦਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਦੀ ਦੁਸ਼ਮਣੀ ਕਹਿ ਲਓ ਹਨੇ।
Yeah, that's it. ਰਹਿਣੀ ਵੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ, ਥੋੜਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਰਹਿਣੀ ਵੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ। Yeah, so putting the music aside, Paji, right? Last question, right? How do you spend your time without music? Like, what do you do? Like, if you put the music aside for a bit, what are your other hobbies? What do you like? Are you into sports or anything like?
Well, sports exercise ਤਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ। We do some exercise and try to keep fit, especially this year during the lockdown. We've tried because ਬੰਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਵਿਆਹ ਕਰਕੇ lazy ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ।
ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਹੋ ਹੀ ਜਾਂਦਾ।
Yeah, so
ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਬੱਚੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ, ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਇਸ ਵਕਤ ਬੱਚੇ ਹਾਂ, ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਦਾ ਹਾਂ। So I can get some tips from you how to survive.
ਯਾਰ ਮਿਲ ਤਾਂ ਸਹੀ ਹੈ ਹਨਾ, ਉਹ ਵੀ ਕਰਾ ਦੇਣਗੇ ਤੇਰਾ ਵਿਆਹ ਹਨਾ।
Oh my god, just imagine, guys, right, who are watching this, imagine Raj Kaul being your bachola, right? That would be something different here. Sada bachola, but a creative banda, artist banda, people, I haven't seen any wedding Paji so far in a Milni where artist milni ho rahi hai, right? I've never seen that in my life where for example, the in-laws have got an artist in their family, and your side must have an artist in the family. The artists di ikkathiyan di milni ho rahi. I've never seen that. I think that should happen. It should be a trend. That should be a trend. That
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਕਰਾ ਦਿੰਦੇ, ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਯਾਰ ਹਨਾ।
ਚਲੋ ਅਪਾਇੰਟ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ ਸਾਨੂੰ।
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸ ਤਾਂ ਸਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਨਾਲ ਲਿਆ ਉਹਦੇ ਯਾਰ ਹਨਾ।
ਕਿਆ ਬਾਤ ਹੈ, ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਜੀ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੰਨਾ ਖਿਆਲ ਰੱਖ ਰਹੇ ਸਾਡਾ। ਹੈ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਚੰਗੀ ਗੱਲ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਸਾਡਾ ਖਿਆਲ ਰੱਖ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ, ਤੇ ਬੜੀ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ ਇਹ। ਤੇ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੰਸਟਾ ਸਟੋਰੀ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਪਾਵਾਂਗੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿ Raj Kaul become a matrimonial service guy, right? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so back to exercise. I'm going to be really cliche here. So I'm a massive Liverpool fan, so I follow Liverpool pretty heavily. The hobbies, I'm a massive gamer as well,
Fantastic.
So I like my Japanese games, RPGs. I don't know whether you know the audience. RPGs, but you're coming out with very interesting things here because it's very different. Yeah.
RPGs.
Yeah.
RPGs.
It's not
RPGs. Right. Okay. I've got my laptop in front of me, you see. So now I'm research we got there, no?
Yeah, so I'm a massive gamer. I love my RPGs.
Acha, okay, yes, get you now.
Yeah. Japanese ones, so like into all that. I'm into anime as well. Those are the kind of things I like to watch. Besides being the old classic Bollywood films, I don't really watch the new ones as much. but ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਪੁਰਾਣੀਆਂ ਸੀ I still watch them on and yeah, I love my anime, and I suppose you can see that in music, that sort of, you know, that I don't mean I'm supposed to be talking about music here, but even that's got an influence into music.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I'm just waiting, right? I'm just waiting now to see a video where we actually see a three-dimensional, 3D cartoon image of you, right? Like a video game kind of video. That would be interesting.
Well, yeah, Ruby,
that'd be something next level.
Something like that first. Well, I'll tell you what we didn't want to do, but it's such a hard concept. I wanted to do a video on VR. Virtual reality.
That would be good. Oh yeah.
So all many one idea, see, but to edit it, as we haven't got the budget, and Ruby's take a long time to get the VR camera, a 360-degree camera. So in the camera, you can actually, when you film it, you can move and look around the room.
Look around the room. Yeah.
That kind of, I think that would be a great video for us to do. Yeah.
That'll be very, very, I mean, you know what it is, right? It's a matter of experimenting and actually bringing something different. What people just think, whoa.
I did want to say, I mentioned it to you, to celebrate Notch, if you can afterwards just pick out someone from the comments, can't be my family members or anything, but if you can pick out someone from the comments, pick out someone who's joined, and I'm going to give away a free Notch hoodie. If you get the size stuff for me, and just to celebrate, and just thank you for everyone for joining as well. I want to give that hoodie, so I'll just give me the size and the address, and we'll send that free of charge. It could be anywhere in the world, it could be India, America, whatever it is, and we'll send that free of charge to them as a gift. So that'll be fantastic. Just a thank you.
Fantastic, man. You know, that is something, you know, I remember you telling me this, so I want to mention that. Those are watching us, right? Raj Kaul is actually giving away a hoodie, right? Celebrating the success of Nutch, right? Everyone's heard it. Still more interviews he's going to be doing very soon as well with various other platforms. But he wants to give away a hoodie, right? So picking someone at random, right? Now, ਭਾਜੀ ਤੋਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਹੁਣ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਹੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਰਿਸ਼ਤੇਦਾਰ ਲੱਗਦੇ ਆ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਇਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕੁਝ ਤਾਂ ਹੈ ਚੱਕਰ ਹਨਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਹੁਣ ਸਮਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗ ਰਹੀ random who shall I name to give this hoodie, right?
ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਮੈਂਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਉਹਦਾ ਜਾਣ ਪਛਾਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਪਰ ਬਾਕੀ whoever's joined, if you want to, even if it's afterwards, you could just or what about this, ask someone to message you first or something along the lines of that, whoever messages you first.
Right, ki kariye
I don't mind.
Let me think. We got a massive list here, right? We've got a massive list here.
Let me pick someone quickly. Let me see. There is there was Deep Paul UK01.
Right, ਭਾਜੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਾ ਮੇਰੀ ਮੂੰਹ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਛੀਨ ਲਈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਦਾ ਨਾਂ ਹੀ ਮੈਂ ਲੈਣ ਆਣਾ ਸੀਗਾ because Deep Paul ਭਾਜੀ, right, he's one of those lads. I got to know him a couple of years ago. This was back when I interviewed Jazzy B on the radio, right, for the first time. There's a group of boys all over the world. कोई इटली च बैठा है, कोई ऑस्ट्रेलिया च बैठा है, कोई कनाडा च बैठा है, कोई इंडिया बैठा है, पिंडा च रहंदे हैं. They're very, very heavily influenced with Jazzy B's look and his fashion. As we all know, he's a fashionable guy. He's into his fashionable clothing, his spiky hair and all sorts, right? Deep Olak, right, is one of those lads, he can't talk. He hasn't got a voice. He mimes on TikTok on every Jazzy track.
Yeah.
Dances like him, right? And Rabdi Bari there, the fact that he's slowly now talking. Hori, he's coming back. He had some form of issue quite from a younger age where he was unable to talk. So I would love to give that hoodie to him, man. Honestly.
Absolutely, 100%. Now you say
he's got a look. He loves music, right? And I think with the power of the music, he's coming back to his voice is slowly coming back because he's trying to attempt when he does any TikTok videos or he goes and live on social media, he tries to sing the song. And I think the power of music has actually brought him, slowly bringing him back to his senses now. So, मेरा ख्याल भाई वुडी होना ही दो, you know.
Paki gal, yeah. You know, if you
Yeah,
can I leave you to get the address and stuff off him, or
definitely, yeah, definitely, man, definitely. I'll get his address. And yeah, man. So deep Olak Paji, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੁਡੀ ਭਾਜੀ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਆ especially for you, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦੇਣ ਲੱਗੇ ਆ, and ਮੈਨੂੰ inbox ਕਰ ਦਿਓ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ address, your full address, your full name, and size as well. Size ਵੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਆ, ਇਹ ਨਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਕਿ ਨਿੱਕਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਕਾਕੇ ਦੀ ਹੁੱਡੀ ਹੋਵੇ ਤੇ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਸੋਚੇ ਯਾਰ ਮੇਰੇ ਤਾਂ ਸਿਰ 'ਚ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੰਘਣਾ ਇਹ so yeah, size ਵੀ ਬੜਾ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਆ, so size ਵੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦੱਸ ਦਿਓ ਤੇ ਭਾਜੀ ਰਾਜ ਕੋਲ ਹੋਣਾ ਨੂੰ I'll give you his address and everything. And yeah, ਭਾਜੀ, and big up, man, big up. You're doing a good thing there, because you know not many artists actually put that much effort on merchandises. That's one other thing as well, what we've missed in our conversation. Merchandises, that's a good way of marketing. It's a strong way of marketing, that.
Yeah, it's just something that we you know, a lot of the stuff that mentioned, we want to create our brand. That's what we're saying, that ਅਸੀਂ ਪੂਰੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ research ਕੀਤੀ ਆ, you know, the merch side, the marketing side, everything just totally blends in together, so just trying to develop that brand, so that's part of that. But definitely I just wanted to give that away anyway, because as I said, just thank you so much for listening, because you don't need to listen to someone like me. You got way bigger artists, so for someone independent like me, it means a lot that you've joined in, listened to me, and even yourself, Virek, that you've interviewed me. It means the world to me, honestly.
Respects, man, respects. देखो जी सिद्धी गल आ, like I said before, I've been saying this to every other artist as well in interviews, that I think, you know, there's high time we need to, you know, support independent artists, because ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਇੱਕ vision ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਇੱਕ ਆਪਣਾ ਇੱਕ dream ਹੁੰਦਾ, you know, of what they want to achieve in their music. Because okay, fine, the big people, the big artists, they've gone in struggles, they've gone in a phase of very struggles in life. But I did say, even though there's big technology here, there's still independent artists who do not reach on the level where they need to be, right? So I think going to everyone who's watching us, I think we need to support independent artists as well. Acha suno, acha dekho, you know, follow good music. What you like, there's no harm in sharing, because look, everyone's got an Instagram page, everyone's got Facebook. One like and one share can make a difference to an artist.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's what I believe. Even ek support bhi mildi na, artist nu thoda jiha ho janda hai ki yaar, someone's watching me, someone's actually seeing my stuff. You know, and then that's how it works. It's a life circle in a way when it comes down to marketing. You know, one person starts sharing, it comes to someone else's page, someone else shares it, it goes global, it goes viral.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Without your support, this would be nothing. And I just thank everyone, like even people who are not on this at the moment, the support I've had, it's been amazing. I've had people reaching out to me, you know, messaging me a great track, sharing my stuff. Like the other day, someone shared my song, my promo video. Someone liked it, commented it. She started sharing. She messaged me, and I just sent her a message. I said, "Oh, thank you so much." But she,
wow,
bless her, you know, they don't need to do that. So you know, I'm really grateful for that. And you know, I can never be too big for your boots, because you know, without the audience, without the listeners, without people like yourself, it's pointless, the music, isn't it?
Absolutely. Kya baat hai. Fantastic, man. Respects, and big up, Paji, and best of luck for your next track.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, man. So big up to all of you who've been watching us, the entire Kaul family who's been watching us.
Yeah.
Right. Big up to them as well to take their time out, because it's a Saturday, so everyone wants to have a bit of you know, a get together, which some people are doing, you know. And but you took your time out to watch us today on Instagram for like 1 hour. 1.5 hours. So we've actually broken records here now.
We didn't even do the
we've broken records here.
We didn't even do the method.
Yeah. Oh yes, the Mayfield.
I see method.
Oh man, the Mayfield. Okay, let's do this right. Let's end the conversation with few lines from Nach Nach.
Yeah, let's get Nach Nach.
Yeah, man. Let's do that, man. We need to end it with a bang, right? Because that track has dropped yesterday. We need to like it and share it as in the max. Baji, with your style, get on the mic, man. Give us some 2 lines of that track now.
Oh, ਨੀ ਤੂੰ ਨੱਚ ਨੱਚ ਗਿੱਧੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾਉਂਦੀ ਨੇਰੀਆਂ ਨੀ ਤੂੰ ਨੱਚ ਨੱਚ ਨੀ ਤੂੰ ਨੱਚ ਨੱਚ ਨੀ ਤੂੰ ਨੱਚ ਨੱਚ ਗਿੱਧੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾਉਂਦੀ ਨੇਰੀਆਂ ਨੀ ਤੂੰ ਨੱਚ ਨੱਚ ਹੋ ਤੇਰੀ ਅੱਖ ਦੇ ਇਸ਼ਾਰੇ ਹੋ ਲੁੱਟ ਗੱਭਰੂ ਬੱਚਾਰੇ ਹੋ ਤੇਰੀ ਅੱਖ ਦੇ ਇਸ਼ਾਰੇ ਹੋ ਲੁੱਟ ਗੱਭਰੂ ਬੱਚਾਰੇ ਹੋ ਤੇਰੇ ਲੱਕ ਦੇ ਹੁਲਾਰੇ ਬਿੱਲੂ ਦੇਵੇ ਗਸ਼ੀਆਂ ਨੀ ਤੂੰ ਨੱਚ ਨੱਚ ਨੀ ਤੂੰ ਨੱਚ ਨੱਚ ਨੀ ਤੂੰ ਨੱਚ ਨੱਚ ਕਿਤੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾਉਂਦੀ ਨੇਰੀਆਂ ਨੀ ਤੂੰ ਨੱਚ ਨੱਚ
हाय हाय क्या बात है मैं क्या आपकी नेरियां ले आती हैं फड़ के हाय हाय fantastic man that whole vibe that whole andaz yeah the style क्या बात है मान गए सवाल ही ले आता you know we needed a bit of that a bit of the lines from Nach Nach man because it does have a melody and it has that andaz you know that kind of you know nakhra jehda hunda na gaane ch
बिल्कुल
हाय हाय क्या बात है big up Baji for your time for today's session right it's been an absolute pleasure and I'm hoping the very best for your musical career man right because you dropped Zor you dropped Nach Nach we're intrigued to see what's the third track now right we're looking forward and wishing you the very best of luck man for your career
thank you so much and thank you for your support from day one as well